is bait. Life outside the federal witness protection program. They always find some way to affect my nursing employment. Hey, it's Susan. Welcome to tonight's episode of Life Outside the Federal Witness Protection Program / Keep the Bad Guys Away. Hey, nice to see ya. Hey, I made it through another day of orientation. But now, you know what? Get this. See, you know what? That's why I said I don't miss a trick. See, you know, what might just be like mere coincidence in regular people situation, you know, everything has to like be like, whoa, red flag in mine. Okay, so now get this. A little bit of history here. I was explaining this to Officer Turner with the Bethel, Alaska Police Department when I was having some trouble with my roommates that I was forced to live with there up in Bethel. One was a nurse and one was a radiology tech. I mean, it was hella bad when I was up in Bethel. I mean, I was calling the Homeland Security tip line, that 1-866-DHS-2-ICE. I was calling them practically every other day. Oh my God, it was horrible. I'd be like on the way to work and I'd be like, I don't know where this is coming from. I mean, literally, and I'm up in rural Alaska. Oh God. I mean, it was so bad, I thought I was going to lose my job up there for no reason, just for the fact that the people, my roommates, were like criticizing me for not having, you know, enough clothes, and, you know, they didn't like certain things. I didn't like the fact that I was washing like every 3 days, didn't have any clothes, and they were like demanding, you know, this, that, and the other thing. They'd leave the whole house a flippin' mess. They'd leave all kinds of food out in the kitchen, all kinds of dishes unwashed, but then they would yell at me for washing my clothes every 3 days and then hiding out in my room so I wouldn't have to deal with them when they wanted me to just be out watching TV. So that was a horrible situation up there in Bethel. But the key words are find some way to affect my nursing employment. See, because if they do that, then I don't have enough money to run from the bad guys, and then I'm out on the streets homeless, and then the stalking sex predators come out. This happens in every city and state. Okay, so like what happened today? Okay, so our nurse educator was sick. So there was nobody really guiding us, but we had already kind of had direction on what we were supposed to do today. I don't know, we had this computer class, and it's just a good thing that I've used the Cerner program before, you know, in other hospitals, because you know what? I didn't really think this chick did such a bang-up job about teaching the Cerner class, and she's from the ICU, and I'm thinking to myself, what in the damn hell? I mean, if you haven't used that program before, I mean, you know, there's a lot of like things that you like really need to know to be able to find, you know, where you need to chart. And so, you know, I mean, I can wing myself through it, but that's because I have used Cerner before up in Anchorage, Alaska most recently, and then I used it many years ago when I worked through Catholic Healthcare West, all the hospitals in Henderson, you know, different versions of it, but whatever. But I thought this chick did a really shitty job of teaching the class. Hell, dude, I don't even know how the heck these people are going to get around. And then she didn't even show us how to like do the med scanning stuff. There's all this, what they call EMAR, that's the lingo of it, EMAR, and scanning your meds and scanning the armbands and all that. She did like none of that. Now, I've used many different EMAR kinds of programs and the little scanners and this, that, and the other thing, but other people in the class said they hadn't. And this was like our only time to learn it. So I couldn't believe this chick that was teaching this class. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, but whatever. I'll be fine. But you know, the other ones, I don't know. But anyway, men moving forward, you know, so okay, well, one of the required tests that could make or break you from keeping your job and actually starting was this medication test. And for whatever reason, there were these two required tests. One was this EKG test, and another one I talked about in yesterday's video, and another one was this medication test. Well, you know, there just seemed to be, now this has been going on all week, there just seems to be such a overwhelming amount of resistance in somebody within the education department, within the hospital, proctoring this exam. And we have all these courses we have to do on HealthStream, but this medication one has to be proctored. You know, they just want to make sure that you're not cheating or whatever, you know. So, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's no big deal. But the thing about it is, we couldn't even enter like enrollment into the course. Somebody else has to do that for us, like a hospital employee, like somebody in the education department. Well, our nurse educator wasn't there today. And then, so, you know, we had to like fight to get this other educator to even do it. So then when she finally did it, and then finally did it for me, mean, all of us nurses, we all have to take it. I mean, it says right on this paper that I have, you have to have this class, this test done, this medication test done, or you can't start working on the floor. I mean, that's just how important it is. So we've all been wanting to take this, right? So she finally, she finally says, okay, well, I guess I'll proctor. You don't have to wait till tomorrow or whatever. And then she finally goes around and starts putting people's, putting our tests in, and she puts mine in. Well, I thought when I read this one paper, it was like 50 questions. I had half an hour to do it, according to this one paper we had. So we thought it was all going to be easy, right? Okay, apparently not. There's something wrong with this paper, because actually you had an hour and a half to take this 50 question test. And let me tell you, you needed, because of what they were asking, you needed the hour and a half time to be able to really read through the questions and stuff. You could always, you really had to actually know your stuff to be able to pass it. But part of it, you could look stuff up. If you needed to look up a drug or something, you could look up the name of a drug and what it did, but you actually had to apply the knowledge. It was a whole application test, not whether or not you could just, do some simple formulas. So, it took some thought. So you needed that full hour and a half to be able to do that. Okay, so you know what? Yesterday, the nurse educator, the one that wasn't here today, she said it was, we would go till 4 o'clock. Okay, so, it was about 2:30 or so, and I start my medication test. Well, it gets to be a little bit after 3, and then the chick that was, sort of running the show today, not really running the show, basically leaving us out to fend for ourselves, but the one that had put me in the course, she comes out a little bit after 3, probably someplace close to 20 after 3, and it's just saying oh, hurry up, I gotta go, we close at 3 o'clock, and then I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of this medication test and I can't stop the medication test. You stop it and you fail, you don't have the questions answered, and I'm allotted an hour and a half time for this test. And then she's saying, no, I'm on overtime and, I'm on overtime and all this stuff. And I'm like, hell, I don't care. And then other people that weren't doing the test today, got up and they were leaving and stuff. And then my nurse manager, the one I was supposed to meet the other day, but she was out of town, she had come down. She wanted to give me my schedule and stuff, and she wanted to talk to this other ICU nurse and all that. Well, I couldn't stop my test for that either, but I was getting for a while there, I was getting a bunch of havoc. One from this nurse educator, hurry up, I'm on overtime and we close at 3. And then I'm getting havoc from, these other, travel nurses and other new nurses. Your manager's out here. I'm like, dude, I am taking this test, the test that I need to take and pass so I can keep my job here. My God, I had to tell them all to shove it. I'm like, shove it, I'm in the middle of the medication test, man. So they finally all got over it, because I think they all thought if they bombarded me enough that I would just hurry up and just fudge the test and say, fuck it. Well, hell no, dude, I would have failed if I would have done that. Just entered whatever and not read the question, but this is the kind of crap that they do. Well, I ended up, finishing the test with a few minutes to spare, and I got a 92%, and I passed the test so I can keep my job. But God, Jesus, but this is the type of stuff they do in these sting operations. This is the kind of crap that they pull. I get bombarded from everybody that I work with, it's like full retaliation, but I'm just whatever. But I did end up meeting my nurse manager. She's very nice. She's from Canada. Thank God. That's probably why I was able to get a job here, because she's international. She's foreign. She comes from a country who's got a formal treaty with the International Criminal Court. That's probably why she hired me. She was probably somebody that they couldn't hack, because she's not American, and she's probably comes here on a work visa, do you see? Which means that she passed through immigration. So, and she's international. That means that she's, smarter than, your regular average person in the United States. So that's probably why I was able to get a job. But I'm just my God, dude, I was getting hacked by all these American people. That's why I said if I would have just, hurried up and jacked this test, I wouldn't have had a job if I would have failed. I would have been out on the streets tomorrow. So, but anyway, so then I get home tonight, right? I get an email from my company, this LRS Healthcare. Now, this is the first contract that I have worked with them. And then they send me an email, right? What is this? Quality Assurance Compliance Manager, whatever the hell, sends me an email. And can I get a copy of your driver's license and social security card? And I'm thinking to myself, well, you already have had that. Matt's had that. That's already should be on file. You know, it's, you know, I mean, you know, in everyday life, I mean, it's all possible that it might have just, you know, got lost in my file. No big deal. Sometimes papers get lost and people are going through and checking stuff and, you know, maybe something didn't match, you know, get in the file. I mean, you know, that's just like everyday stuff, but it's just the timing of it. The timing of it is unreal. Well, you know, I just emailed her back. I attached my copy of my U.S. passport, copy of my social security card, and a copy of my Arizona my Arizona ID. It was actually the Arizona State Troopers. I had asked them about my situation a couple years ago. I'm like, troopers, I'm like, you know, I think I got some identity theft with my driver's license. I don't have a car. What should I do? You know, and they said, well, get an Arizona ID card. So I went, got an Arizona ID card. So, you know, highway patrol or troopers, whatever you want to call them. I mean, in Arizona, they know. And when I went to get my Arizona ID card, they scanned in my Nevada driver's license into their system. Well, you know, and then since that point, I let my Nevada driver's license expire after Trooper Matt with the Alaska State Troopers blamed the FBI for my driver's license, you know? So I held the damn driver's license. But the timing of it is unreal. And it's just like, now what the hell are they trying to pull? Well, you know what? The hospital's got copies. I mean, they saw all my identification documents, actually held them in their hands. They made copies too. So I said, if you're going to send them to the hospital, I just want you to know they have their own copies as well. But I'm just sitting there thinking, now what are they trying to pull? Okay, but at least you know what? When I got home tonight, I had coffee cups. That was really nice. Thank God I got coffee cups. And then they put a little microwave stand in my room today. So now I've got this nice little stand where I can put my food on it, my food that I buy at the 99-cent store, and that food for less. Hell, you know, I'm poor until I get paid. So, but anyway, so I've got that. So that was a nice coming home treat. But I just think to myself, oh my God, if I could just get out of this nursing crap. I mean, then I wouldn't have to worry about being hacked like that. Every day. You wait, tomorrow there'll be something else. Anyway, that's, oh, one more thing happened today. Before I went into work, I was, you know what, I'm just like, I was watching the House yesterday, how they were chewing out Eric Holder. I mean, you know, Congressman Louis Gohmert was chewing out Eric Holder, you know. And I'm like, he needs to be damn chewed out, you know. His office, Congressman Gohmert's office, the Sarah Nowak, the staff member, called me when I was in Arizona and talked about bringing, you know, Eric Holder, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, to the table. They wanted me to get back to Texas. Like I said, that's like a little bit challenging, girlfriend, you know, whatever. But, you know, I'm just like sick of this. I called Congressman Ruiz's Washington, D.C. office today and gave them a piece of my mind on this damn BS and told them that I didn't appreciate being blown off. I'm like, I'm the one that made the report to the Las Vegas FBI. I'm the one that knows this case inside and out. And so the reason why my name is on all these letters is because I'm the one that made the FBI report, but a lot of people have been retaliated against for this. I'm like, people went missing after Senator Harry Reid's office opened up an FBI investigation. So apparently she was going to get the documents and get what I requested from Congressman Ruiz's office and take it from there. I'm like, this needs to be in a committee. This needs to go through the House committee, the Judiciary Committee. It probably needs to go through the Terrorism and Homeland Security committees. I mean, like, this is too big. It's a terrorism. We're victims of terrorism. It's terrorism. So you guys need to start taking this seriously, man. I mean, dude, I'm not the damn terrorist. The terrorist is the asshole that, you know, everybody sponsored for the longest time. But anyway, so that's today's episode of Life Outside the Federal Witness Protection Program. Keep your stun gun handy. There's real criminals and terrorists out there. I'll see you next time.